Hello, today I'm joined by my mom and my sister who is currently on FaceTime. They're going to be listening in while I give my informative speech. Have you seen a video recently on social media that made you do a double take because of the absurdity? Heard a song in passing that sounded a little bit too robotic to be human? Chances are you've been fooled by AI at least once this past year. Today, I'm going to discuss generative artificial intelligence, its data centers, and their several effects on both the environment and society. As someone who has spent the past few weeks researching generative AI, and as someone who appreciates the capacity of human creativity, this topic is something I am eager to discuss. During this speech, I will briefly define generative AI, the ways it affects its users, and what the data centers do to our environment. To better understand the effects of generative AI, we must first understand what it is and how it differs from typical artificial intelligence. The National Library of Medicine defines AI as a system of algorithms or computer processes that can create novel output in text, images, or other media based on user prompts. This means that it can generate videos, text, and music from almost anywhere using a cell phone or a computer. This sets it apart from the original form of AI, which was mainly used as a tool to help make predictions based on data. The production of various forms of AI media is massive and is only growing more and more every day. Think of apps such as ChatGPT, which recently hit 1 billion users this past May. This app alone accumulates 2.5 billion user prompts per day, and oftentimes the prompts that people initiate in these chats are unconventional. As I have previously stated, generative AI allows users to generate just about anything. From dinner recipes to heartfelt conversations, the lines between software and humans often get blurred. There have been an increasing amount of delusions surrounding people who frequent AI chatbots. Because of this, several concerns have been raised regarding the ethics of generative AI and whether or not it can negatively impact people's well-being. The National Academy of Medicine conducted an interview in March 2026 with psychiatrist Ray Gurgis regarding the generative AI boom and how chatbots are especially affecting those who are already at risk. He mentions the phenomenon typically called AI psychosis. He states, when we talk about generative AI psychosis, we're really talking about a large language model reinforcing some sort of unusual idea and increasing someone's level of conviction. It's important when speaking about these generative AI bots that they're named for what they are, a language learning model. They spend hours learning from conversations people have with them. The more people frequent these apps and sites, the better it becomes at mimicking human dialogue. It can be especially challenging for people who already experience some form of psychosis to realize that they're speaking to a software rather than a real person. Although it is more common among those who are struggling with psychosis, there are still multiple cases in which people prefer AI chatbots over human connections. Try to put yourself in their shoes. Having feelings of isolation and sadness with seemingly no one to turn to, having lots of things on your mind but no one to tell, then you come across an AI chatbot that seems so real it's almost human. For people who are suffering, that can feel like a safe haven, but this dependency that these apps and sites have created come at a cost. With the usage of AI becoming more prevalent in our everyday lives, it is necessary that we start acknowledging the effects it has on the environment. Now, most people don't think about the environment when using apps like ChatGPT to finish an assignment or when drafting an email. After all, it doesn't take much energy to use these apps. But what does use energy, and lots of it, is the over 4,000 data centers here in the US. An article by the Washington Post tells the story of how these data centers use up water and energy. It points out chatbots use an immense amount of power to respond to user questions, and simply keeping the bot servers cool enough to function in data centers takes a toll on the environment. They compare it to how we humans use sweat to cool ourselves down. Only these data centers have a thirst for fresh water to cool their systems down. And when the surrounding area is unable to provide enough water for the centers to sustain itself, it turns to electricity to power large-scale air conditioners to cool the machines. Microsoft alone used 700,000 liters of water just to train one of its AI models, while Meta used 22 million liters of water to train one of its language learning models. In a single year, one hyperscale data center consumes electricity equivalent to 100,000 households. Since there are over 4,000 data centers in the US, along with active plans to make hundreds more, there is no doubt that our carbon emissions will greatly increase. Studies even predict that they can generate between 24 and 44 million metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions annually by 2030. All this means that we will soon start to see a decline of available fresh water and an increase in the demand for electricity. Today, I talked about generative artificial intelligence and how the mass usage of it has impacted our world. A couple of these effects included increasing the risk of psychosis among vulnerable adults and its data centers largely contributing to our carbon footprint. Whether you're creating a cool picture or asking for a funny joke, using generative AI has its undeniable effects. So the next time you use ChatGPT or apps like it, I encourage you to remember what I've discussed today. The brain is a powerful tool, and we shouldn't take it for granted. Thank you.